there's a really great documentary by Dignacraft on the Day of the Dead. And when there is this appropriation and we forget the origins of the history, or like if we don't go back enough, we can really convince ourselves that some historical event happened without the prior event. So in the example that I'm thinking about is the claim of Chicanos, for example, that Day of the Dead is a Chicano tradition, but it's not. It's an indigenous tradition. And I work with documents from the 16th century, written in indigenous languages, Nahuatl, Zapotec. And what we see in those documents is this violence where Spaniards who were colonizing punished indigenous peoples for celebrating their local traditions, such as Day of the Dead. And so here in this piece, for example, I see several diablos. One, I think, might be like someone's nickname, like a perpetrator. But we also see the presence of other devilish kind of symbols, or like symbols that one would, in the Judeo-Christian ideas, would associate with hell, for example. But hell doesn't exist in indigenous communities. So we get to see the kinds of perspectives and preoccupations of someone who is telling us a story that is affecting real people, real women, through real events. But the art and the artistic tradition, how it might be represented by people in an indigenous community, would be really entirely different, because we would not have these elements from the Judeo-Christian hell or the devil. The elements would be really different. And if you go to any one of these communities, whether it's a Nahuatl community or a Mixtec community or a Ñañú community or a Tzotzil community, what you might see are birds, fish, flowers, corn, the pieces of local life that are relevant, and again, in hoping to celebrate a person's life, as opposed to telling a story like this one, which is really, really different than a person might tell in an indigenous community.